Welcome to part number 12 of this series, and let's add some logic and some code to our subtraction page remodel. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is create few observable properties. So I'm just gonna create them. You can see me how I do it, and just copy the code. Okay, so there it is. So I created two ints, make sure they are observable properties. Then we create another int user answer. Then we have to create another observable property. Now what should be this? It's as well as int and call it the correct answer. Now dynamo may not have something called regions. That is of course in Unity. Otherwise it's simulating regions everywhere. Now kept wrong answers. We have the correct. So the last one must be total, right? So we need an int, and these are our total answers. That's really, I think, it for the variables. Now, these are all of the variables that I have created already. So the next thing is to actually write inside the public subtraction page model. So we're gonna say number1 is equals to random.share.next, and we're gonna simply say 0 to 300, and then number 2 is equals to random.share 0, I think 1 to 100, 1 to 300. Okay, semicolon. I forgot to make this one here. Okay. And what else do we need? Well, I think that is it for what we had to do there. Now let's create a relay command. As usual, I told you what relay command is. It is a command that you will get inside the UI, where you get your command for a button. Your command, you can say bracket, curly brackets, and then you just need to write binding, and then you get your bindings. So let's create a void check with two brackets open. Now we create a variables user answer to get that. So we're gonna say var user answer is equals to user answer. Now there's an error. I think it's not an error, it's just an exclamation mark. So you just need to say U to make it okay, and then click N. Make sure capitalization is done for the observable properties. Then you need to create var correct answer. You must get the correct as well, right? Like you do an operation inside this, because it's much cleaner to write variables than just directly write them in the if statement. So we have to write var correct answer is equals to number1, and because this is subtraction, we have to write minus number2 and capitalize the N. Okay, so what else do we need? I don't think we need any more variables, that's fine. Now if there's an if block right there, you have to tell him that if the user answer, the user answer we created is equals the correct answer, then we can application.current.mainPage.display alert to him that he did a great job. So let's write that down. Okay, application.current.mainPage, and we're going to use the display alert string, and then comma between each one of them, then a final semicolon. So the first thing is going to be result, capital R, and the results. The next thing we need is to tell him that he did a really good job. So we're going to tell him result equals grade you know your stuff. So he knows his stuff, you know. Like if he gives the correct answer, then he knows what he's doing, right? Alright, whatever. I give him an exclamation mark as well to make it very, very, you know, exciting. Whatever. Now we can give him a next question option button. Next question, I think. Okay. Now we don't actually want to return here. So I think maybe this is what we need for the line. We need to write anything much inside this. So what else do we need for this line here? Well, yeah, of course it's not done yet. We need to get the total answers to plus equals by 1 and get our correct answers as well to plus equals 1. Alright. Now we need to write an else statement which is going to check that he did not do this. So this if, otherwise we're gonna do else application.current.main page display alert your result. Well, you know, you just got a failure for that. Okay, that's really it. Let's just type in next question here. I'm doing it beforehand, it's fine. Then in the title, you're gonna tell him that your result is failure. You were not able to succeed in it. Now that we've done that, I can simply increase the total answers by 1 and then increase the wrong answers by 1. This time not the correct ones, the wrong ones by 1. Okay, so many if statements I've put. Well, they're all fine. Okay, now what else? And of course we need to check whether 20 questions have been done or not. So we need to write another if statement, and this if statement is checking if the total answers is equals to 20 and well, should we check the wrong answers or the correct answers first? Well, I don't know which one. Well, I'll just randomize one and I'm going with correct answers first. So it's going to go through this if block that checks whether the total answers is equals to 20 and correct answers is greater than or equals to 16. Then we're going to give him a great luck and you passed the test. So what we're going to do now is in the application.current.main page .display alert, which we use of course for, but right now let's use it for navigation. So we're going to do navigation push async. So we're going to, I think, pop async. That's better, because when we go from it must move back from the page. Finally, now you know that navigation could be done like this. There's a push async, you give what you want, and now I'm going to change navigation pop async to display alert. The reason I use pop async here is because it is a useful fast way, of course. So we're gonna give an OK. Whole test results. That's gonna be interesting. Get someone's whole test result out, whether he doesn't know anything or not. So we can tell him, well done, great job, you did it. So I'm gonna capitalize it just because I want to, and I'm going to tell him, what are we gonna tell the user? Well, we're gonna tell him you passed it. So we have to write you passed the what's this? Well, it's our subtraction page. So we're gonna say you passed the subtraction test. Subtraction test. Alright, and that think we call it subtraction page. No, tests is better. Yeah. Give it an exclamation mark. He did really great job. Now we need to check else. Now else is not a good way of checking, right? So let us use another if statement. And make sure that he is getting the wrong answer. We can also use else if. I'm not using this. I am just going to do that in the Polish video. Fix all my else ifs and elses. So the first thing we need to write here is the if total answers is equals to 20, and then wrong answers is actually greater than or equals to 5. Then we're gonna tell him bye-bye. Sir, you didn't do a good thing. So you're gonna change this to oh no. It's a bit funny, I know. And we're gonna tell him, oh dear, you failed it badly. Okay. And he just has the option to say okay. But if these blocks don't come true, then we simply randomize them again in here and put them in there. Make sure to set the user answer as well, maybe to 0. So just set your user answer equals to 0 so that the user has to not delete the answer he wrote and could be able to. Alright, whatever. Now here we come to the UI, and bindings are now needed. So you must give it a binding for the number 1 and then for the binding for the number 2. Okay. And then go down into the vertical stack layout, and that's the reason I put that text over there with the binding for the user answer. Let's find out where's that user answer. Let me search for it. Here it is. Alright, now we can write the command finally by writing command and then give it the binding values and give it the check command. You can see command was added as usual. I didn't write that, so we're gonna write binding total answers, binding correct answers, and then finally binding with the wrong answers. Well, I'm going to fix this UI because I know it does not look cool, but I'm going to fix it in the polishing video, not now. Okay, just look wrong answers. Let's have a look by clicking play now. Alright, the app is right here now. So let's click start. Let's head over into the tests. And I'm going to go into yes mode. I can click some no, yeah, maybe that's fun. Well, yes, and go into subtraction. Now, here you are. 38 minus 106. You can get a negative answer. I can type some letters, which is not looking cool, is it? I'm going to submit, and I get a failure result. Here you are, 1 wrong answer and 1 total. So that is a good way of calculating. 294 minus 162. But I can still type garbage in there, you know. So I'm gonna give it a keyboard of only numeric. So you can't type anything in except for numbers. Joking. Because in a mobile, he'll only be able to see numeric numbers. And we don't want the user typing in alphabets, because numbers minus, like, numbers subtracting each other, numbers adding each other, well, we don't want alphabets in the answer, because if you add a number with a number, you don't get alphabets, you get a number. Now it's taking a long time for some reason to reload. Anyway, I'll wait for it. Making big apps, this is the issue. So when you make very big apps, you'll see that the Pixel 5 will slow down a little bit and the screen shall start going really, what do I call this? I mean, you know? How do I actually say this now? It's slow, like kind of slow. And it will be very like, it's like, yeah, the frame rate is gonna be very slow. So you'll see it literally moving across. It's like right now you can see it's moving smoothly. It's gonna be going like one click, and it will reach. And now I click on the entry box, and finally I get a numeric keyboard. And on a mobile, a guy would be terrified. I can't put alphabets in there because it's just numbers. So, you know what 124 minus 157 is negative 133. So I'm going to submit it, and there you go, he gives me great, I know my stuff. 186 minus 182 is just exactly 4. Well, 4, not negative 4, I forgot. 283 minus 110. This one's a bit tricky, but I still know the answers as I do the rounding off way. So the answer to this here is 173. And I told you, there you go. Now I want to give, you can see that I can actually make it small, make it big, I can make it to just do a tick. So you can see that there are 3 total answers, 2 correct and 1 was wrong. But now let's give it a background color. So I think let's give it blue. Blue would look nice. Maybe royal blue. That's better. With corner radius so that it is smooth from the edges. With 15, I think. That's good. Let's have a look. Xaml reload. Yep, I like that. So this is really what it might be looking like right now. You should be going on with this at the moment. I can just type in some garbage and I get a failure in my face. I can continuously, and I'm gonna continuously click and crazily click so that I can reach the end of 20 questions, and I'm gonna have a look at the pop async working. Alright, we've reached, oh, there you are. I failed it and I was not, okay. Alright, so everything's really working nice. I can do everything with this subtraction page ready now. Everything's working perfectly. Everything's working really nice. So everything's smooth. Oh, I got a right answer. I thought I was gonna get it wrong. 20 minus 204 is around, I think, 20 minus 184, yes. Now, you can have fun. 137 minus 15, that's a easy peasy answer. So, it takes me long. Well, not that long, because it's a positive number, that's for sure. I know, it's 122. There you are. So, you can write in the comments below if there's any issues with the app, like the winning is not working, like you complete a test and you have done 16 or more, and you've done 16 or more, well, that's, I'm having fun. Addition, so everything's working perfect. 170 plus 261, pretty easy. I know how to solve this. As usual, it's positive number. There can't be minusing, so I'm gonna write 378. Great, I know my stuff. Now I'm just having some fun around here. 9 minus 3, that is 6. I know my stuff. 181 negative 157. Well, there's something called level now. So in the next video, we'll introduce levels to the user, because the user doesn't actually have any levels. And just look at where it's flying. It needs a stoppage, you know. But whatever this is, I'm going to, in the next video, add some levels. So one level for beginner, one level for advanced. It's gonna get really big numbers to solve, up to 300, and those levels are gonna work based on each page. So each page will have a reference to that. Okay, so I'm going to see you in the next video where we shall make levels now. Okay, so this is it of this video, of course. And in the next video, we shall add lots of levels. Let's have a look. I forgot something maybe. Well, yes, I did. I forgot to add something called return. Yeah, that's a very important thing, because it won't really overload your computer then, because it will go all the way back up to do more validation, but then you'll be out of the page and there is no longer a page ready. So let's close it. And that's it really of this video. So next video we'll make some levels for